Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, things haven't gone exactly according to plan.
Important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
Former 4th-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
His throw incomplete. The starting 11 now for Los Angeles on the defensive side of the ball. And right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
Here's Prescott. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago. where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's used that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Coleman. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will get it at the 20. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Coleman, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
On 3rd down, that's Coleman. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
The tackle by Eric Armstead. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Off the bootleg, James. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now James to throw on third down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Owens. And out across midfield down to the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Coleman now. And down to the 36-yard line here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Are you off?
Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And that is incomplete.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. They'll go with a keeper. And he will push forward and pick up the first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
This is Coleman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us. Here's James to throw on second down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. As his guys are in for 6. And the Rams are in for 6.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the first down and change our momentum?
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Prescott now on 2nd down. This is Shepard on the catch. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Prescott from the gun. But he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. 3rd down here.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott yet again. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll run it here. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and play.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Rams have got it back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
Exactly. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore. The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
James now on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They get it to him running left. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw. James. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers. And, you know, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now after the play, oh man, it's Prescott who appears to be shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The important third down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
James to throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete as well.
there was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
All right, here we go.
They run a draw here on 2nd down, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 22.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the visiting Browns who were able to steal one on the road. Russell Wilson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. We'll stay in the AFC South as we head one state over to check on the Indianapolis Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. 17-10, the final score. And finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now a handoff looking right. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that last run makes this a hunt watch.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw is James. Off the play fake. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They will run again with Coleman. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Rams on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. James. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, what, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is fielded at the 27. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now James operating from the gun. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's James looking to throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Rams on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and forever. Back to throw. James. Now they go screen. It's complete. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Drake. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
They'll set up a throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw here. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And the slant pattern here complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll look to throw. Open for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And his kick is good. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on that.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead. Usually not as fumble-prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And now a carry here for their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 11 and a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. And I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. It's Coleman here. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. It's their quarterback with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. On the return comes Drake. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
They're blocking the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Green, 39.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw here's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now back to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Looking to throw. James.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
47 right,
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Los Angeles, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home.
On a copy, diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists, and you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a brake light, and you can get it right on your graveside. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your in them. Hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday. With the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold.
I reinvented myself, they sorta hated it. I reinvented myself and upgraded it. Traded in the Jews, copped a couple new ones. Lost a couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs and downstairs, the balcony. These oceanside views, the alchemy. Ain't nothing crazy like the city in the summertime. So when it's winter, I still be on my summer grind.
Handle your business. Handle your business.
Loyal and honor, don't break the bro codes. The more red rose, max with the rose gold. Whoever counted me out, they can't count. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists, and you ain't never